All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 67. Got the Wanderer and Big Earn here. Say hello, guys.
Hello. Thanks for stopping by.
So, it comes to my attention that a special week very dear to me has been almost a month gone past, and neither one of you in the 4 weeks has asked me
Shark Week?
how it was.
F Shark Week.
I remember that you had to catch up on it post Shark Week.
What's there to catch up on? It's the same crapola every year. Same shark, same tag.
Well, that hurts my feelings, Ernie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cuts me pretty deep, you know? It's not the same shark. It's not the same tag. Yes, occasionally they are the same sharks because they're the ones that are tagged, but there's a lot of good programming this year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I learned some new stuff, they have certain dead zones in Florida where it's like polluted through the sewer systems where it's killing the fish over there. And like the sharks are still going there, especially the bull sharks, because you know how the bull sharks are like ocean and also like fresh water, like they could go through like like the rivers and stuff like that. So like they're still like going into those polluted areas and eating the polluted fish and giving birth to pups over in those areas. I think it was the Indian River or something like that. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. So the polluted fish don't harm them?
So that was what it was very interesting. Like I still have 3 episodes left to finish up, so I'm not completely done.
Right.
But I saw pretty much the entire week at this point, besides the 3 episodes, and it was a lot of cool stuff. The only knock I think I would have on Shark Week is that they're getting too heavy into the great white shark. Like, you know what I would like to see more of? The alien sharks of Japan. Like, go out to Japan a little bit more all year and try and find some new shark species, because whenever they go to Japan, they always find like these cool ass sharks that don't even look like sharks sometimes, and they're insane. Like the goblin shark and the frill shark, that they almost look like prehistoric sharks.
Really?
Yeah, like the one shark looks like a giant eel, but just has massive amount of teeth, and it's almost like snake-like, but like obviously not as big as an anaconda, but it's like, 8, 10, 12 feet long, skinny.
And they're actual sharks?
They're sharks. It's called a frill shark. Look it up. See what it looks like. It's crazy looking. And then last year they caught one on alien shark, and then this year they did something a little different. But I forget what kind of shark they found. We already discovered it. It wasn't like a new one. But when they fished it out, because basically Japan, like the way they find these sharks is they do these massive fishing nets, right? And whatever's in the net is in the net at that point, and they pull it up, and normally that's how like a lot of these sharks get endangered on the endangered species list, right? So the guy that was running the show was like, I have to do something that I'm not fond of and go on this giant fishing boat and fish with them and see what kind of sharks we pull up, because they were looking for a specific type of shark. It's called the angel shark. And long story short, they find it on some remote part of Japan. But as he's on this fishing boat, he finds this, it's almost like almost black shark with greenish, bluish eyes. And they pulled 2 of them out, and they were like 4 to 5 feet big. And as soon as they pull them out, it's giving birth to pups on the deck of the boat. So they throw it in the tank, and they're actually watching it like give birth. So it was kind of crazy. Yeah, it was insane looking, like, to see that. And they wind up dumping it back in the ocean, and it lived, and it dumped like the 5 or 6 pups it had into the ocean as well. So it was pretty cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So the whole week in Hall was good, but like I'd like to see more of that, like sharks that you don't see a lot on Shark Week. Like most of the program is great white, makos, hammerheads, which it's all good. Have a couple of those, but like you said, it's the same stuff. Like stop trying to do the same stuff and like get a little more creative.
So do they do actual episodes where, like a shark that they tagged 10, 15 years ago on Shark Tank, on Shark Week, that they follow up and do like a follow up and find the same shark?
Sometimes it depends if they find it. Like
Really?
yeah, because like
Isn't that the whole point of tagging it, so they can always find it?
well, the tags only last for so long, so it might last for a year, a couple months, a couple years. Like there's an app tracker that has the sharks that they track, and it goes up, and you could see where the sharks are on like in like the United States or whatever. So they have that. I don't know if there's a tag on it that stays on it forever, so to speak. Like I don't pay attention to it that much like that. But
That'd be interesting, right? Oh, this is the shark that we tagged on the show 15 years ago. Let's check it out, see if it's got any new scars, what's it been eating,
so they go year to year sometimes with that. So like they saw a shark this year that they saw last year, and they were following it and like trying to figure out, like, all their studies is what they're trying to do is figure out what the sharks are always doing and why, like, there's more shark attacks now than ever.
Right.
Why is the water warming up? What's making the sharks that never go certain places are in certain places now? So for them, I don't know if they're doing it for the long haul. I'm sure there are scientists out there that keep track of these sharks for 15, 20 years until like the tag either falls off or they die and get eaten or whatever. Like, there's all these variables why these things could come off. You know what I mean? Especially when you have females that mate and you have a tag on them. Like, when they mate, the sharks bite each other. So it can bite the tag off, like, you know, all this kind of other stuff. So, you know, that would be a good thing to do, and maybe we could write into them and see like if they could get an episode on like old sharks or whatever. But to me, like, I want to know about like the blue nose shark, or like, I don't know, like the bluefin, or the, you know what, it would be a good one, the oceanic whitetip, because they did an episode on it last year. And to make a long story short, that shark is involved in the biggest shark attack of all time, and it happened in World War II. And it's an awesome episode. So like the Americans were obviously in World War II.
Is that the Annapolis?
Yes, and it was sunk. Like, I think Japan sunk it or something like that. And all the guys are in the water, in the middle of the ocean. And oceanic whitetips, they're like pack hunters, almost like wolves. So they're all hanging around, and they attack together, and like it's every man for himself, but they do it together. So if you get a fish, great. If I get a fish, whatever. Or if you get 2 fish, I get 9, whatever. So they attack all these guys. So like 900 men went in the water, and I think like 300 survived. And a lot of them like were supposedly eaten by sharks. So like I want to see more episodes like that, you know. But let's learn about that shark. Like, why does it do it? What, you know? Why do they pack? Like, you know, that's what the scientists should be doing. You know what I mean?
How about they strap a couple of GoPros on some sharks?
They have done that. They have done that. Not really a GoPro, but like the tags are like a wedge on the fin, so it claps on like that, and then they have the camera right in front of it, and you see it swimming and attacking stuff and whatever. They did it to a mako shark. I want to say it was 2 years ago, like not last year, the year before that. Mm-hmm. And you saw the mako swimming behind the boat, but from his view.
Right.
And then you had a camera on the back of the boat and seeing the front of his face. Mm-hmm. So you're getting like side by side, and they kept clipping back and forth.
That's neat.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So they do a lot of cool stuff like that. But yeah, I was just a little upset that you guys haven't asked me about it. So I was bringing it up now.
So what was your favorite part of Shark Week?
I want to say the alien shark episode was really good. I always look forward to that every year. Right. The host this year was John Cena. He actually did a good job.
Really?
Yeah, I liked him better than The Rock, because I think The Rock was last year.
Okay.
Maybe that's just because I'm getting a little tired of The Rock, like he's everywhere. So I don't know, but he looked like he was into it.
Oh yeah, that's like the seems to be the thing that they've been doing the last few years, right? It's a big time celebrity that hosts it.
Yeah, because they used to have the celebrity do like a half-hour like show every day at the end of Shark Week, because it's Shark Week all throughout the day, but they air previous episodes from last year or the year before and during the day. All the new stuff's at night from 8 to 11. So 11 to 11:30 would be like, you know that Expedition Now guy that does that show? He was the guy last year that was doing the interviews, but they didn't do that this year. Mm-hmm. So I guess they got rid of it for whatever reason. Maybe people just decided like it wasn't good enough. But John Cena was like in between episodes, which was kind of cool. And he had a different guest that he was talking to, all these different scientists, whatever, or shark attack victims. So it was good overall. Like I said, I still got 3 more episodes left, but for right now, I think it's the alien sharks. The funny thing about the ocean is 86% of the ocean has still not been discovered. So think about that for a minute. You got all this land or whatever like that. Like, I don't know how much land is out there that we haven't discovered yet, but I would like to think we're in the 80s on that, right? At least, you know?
So What do you say,
86% of the ocean has not been like discovered, meaning like they don't know what's down there, what's whatever.
Right, hasn't been explored.
Correct.
Not that they don't know it's there.
Right,
just
but they haven't explored it yet. But isn't that crazy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a pretty big number there.
It's a huge number. God knows what's down there, which is why.
And why is that?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't look that far into it. It was just a little stat that I thought was cool. I'd share with you guys, But other than that, that's all I got for my little rant today. So we don't have really the Yankee game to watch tonight because of the rain all week. I'm actually wondering like how they're going to get a doubleheader in tomorrow. 'Cause it's supposed to rain a lot tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I know.
All week.
All week, right?
Yeah, every day. The rest of the week, every day. And then, if people are having barbecues over the weekend, what's going on with that? Like,
I know.
all this other stuff. Like, this is a complete washout of a week. It's a very dreary. Like, even right now, you're looking outside.
Is it possible tropical storm by the weekend?
Well, I'm assuming this is gotta be going on with what's going on in Florida, the
Right.
Carolinas.
Right.
Right.
Well, isn't that Hurricane Debbie, right, or something like that?
Yes.
Right. So you got that going on down there. I guess maybe this is from that. You would assume, or like
I would think so.
I don't really know how the tropical storms and hurricanes work like that. Like, normally, I think if it's down there now, we'd get it afterwards. So maybe this is like the pre-rain math, and then maybe over the weekend we'll get like serious rain from the
Right.
hurricane. Because now, by the time it gets up to us, it's usually not even a tropical storm. It's just a very heavy rainfall.
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be pretty crappy all weekend until Saturday. Saturday should be okay.
What does it say for Saturday?
Just some possible showers like 2 in the morning, and then it's gonna be 80 degrees over there.
Oh, really? Because I checked earlier today, and it said possible thunderstorms in the afternoon.
Oh, no, it's not showing.
Oh, that's good. That's good news then. So at least hopefully the weekend it clears up a little bit.
Sunday's supposed to be nice, and then all next week is supposed to be nice.
Oh, that's good. That's great news. But I don't know how they're going to get these 3 games in with the Angels right now. And the Yankees are kind of hot. Like, I didn't really want to play a doubleheader right now, to be honest. Because the doubleheader, you're always assuming you're just going to split, right? Like, you're going to win one and lose one.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be playing all the same guys in both games. Someone's always going to get hurt, especially if it's raining. So you automatically know Giancarlo Stanton's not playing at all in those 2 games, right? So I don't know what they're going to do. And the Yankees have won 7 out of their last 8, which is pretty good. DJ LeMahieu got another game-winning hit over the weekend, which is nice, So they're rolling. If we could just get the starting pitching to come around, I think we'll be okay. And the Mets won yesterday, right?
Yeah. What do you
Pulled
call
them out,
it?
didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like 8-0 or something like that.
I think they ended up, Cardinals ended up scoring like 4 or something. But, yeah, they didn't start the road trip great, losing 2 out of 3 to, the Angels, not really a good team. But, they were able to get back to even yesterday. Manaea pitched good. He's been pitching good as of late. And
Yeah, he had another 10 strikeouts yesterday.
yeah, and they were able to score some runs.
It was 6-0, by the way. They won.
That was the final.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I thought, yeah, for some reason I thought. Anyway, yeah. So it's glad they right the ship a bit, and hopefully they can go into Colorado and win at least a couple.
Yeah, what are they playing? 3 games?
I believe
Colorado? Yeah, and Colorado's really not good. They're 41-72. So you would like to hope they take at least 2 out of 3, if not all 3.
So, except Marino pitching today.
Yeah, he is pitching tonight. But the problem with the West Coast is always the same for the guys on the East Coast. It's always a tough flight out there. It's always a tough road trip. And, like, for you to come, back, like, 500 or maybe a game over, you'll accept that. And the Mets had a wacky kind of, like, situation because they played in L.A.,
Right.
then they had to come back to St. Louis,
One game.
then for 1 game, and then go to Colorado.
On Monday.
and then go to the Mariners. So like you're going almost all over the place at that
Yeah.
point, right?
That's kind of brutal.
Yeah. So like I'm happy that they won yesterday because if they didn't, that'd be like their first 3-game losing streak in a while.
Yeah.
And then you'd almost feel like it's a bad start to the road trip. So now they kind of evened off their 2-2. I'll take that right now.
Right.
If I was the Mets and the Mets fans, and then just try and do your work in Colorado and the Mariners. And both teams right now, well, Colorado's been struggling the whole time. The Mariners have been, just as bad as like the Yankees like the last 6 weeks. I mean the Yankees started turning it around in the last week and a
Yeah,
half.
I was gonna say.
But before that, like the Mariners and them were like awful. Like the Mariners can't even buy a hit or a win. So it's maybe you catch them at the right time and you could just roll in there and roll through and then get back home because it's a long homestand. The Yankees are at home, so while the Mets are away, the Yankees are at home for like I think it's a 9-game homestand. So that's good, but they got to play well, and they set themselves up already to do so, winning 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays.
Yeah. They and some hard fought wins too.
Yeah.
What was that? Was the game? Was it Friday or Saturday that went into extras?
Well, Sunday went into extras.
Sunday. Sorry.
They wound up winning 3-2, I think it was, or 4-3. But it was tough all weekend for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 4-3 on Sunday, and then the Yankees handled business on Saturday, winning 8-3. And the Yankees should have won on Monday. They lost 8-5, but Stroman had another bad game pitching wise, which is a problem. And I don't know how they're going to do it tomorrow too, because right now you got Gill going in game 1 tomorrow, and then Warren going in game 2. So I don't know why Warren's in there. I don't know why, because Cole is back, so I don't know why Warren's pitching. Doesn't make sense, but
Yeah, because he pitched when Cole was out there.
right, he took a spot start from Cole. So now Cole pitched Sunday. Maybe they're just using him because it's a doubleheader and they don't want to ruin the rotation. I don't really know. It doesn't make sense.
So he's pitching game 1.
No, 2. Gill's pitching Heel's pitching game 1, and Warren's pitching game 2.
So who normally comes after Heel? Is it Stroman?
No, Stroman pitched Friday. Rodon pitched Saturday.
So maybe
Cole
he's
pitched
for,
Cortez.
Nasty Nestor.
Maybe they push him back a start. I don't know. But the way these things are shaping up, it's kind of crazy. Anyone get to 70 wins yet? I'm trying to see right now. No. So far the closest right now are the Guardians, Yankees, and Orioles. They almost all have identical records right now, yeah. So I got a question for you guys, because I was thinking about this the other day. So depending on what the Yankees do at the end of the season, right, and what the Mets do at the end of the season, depends if this is even worth talking about again, but let's say the Yankees do what they always do. Let's just say they get to the LCS, maybe they make it to the World Series. The Mets make the playoffs, so they fizzle out. Soto hits the market, right? And I want 2 different opinions because this is why I'm phrasing the question. Now, we both know that the Yankees and Mets are both going to go after Soto. Part 1 would be is if you're a Yankee official or if you're Hal Steinbrenner, would you even take a chance on that and just give them the most money to stay here? And then part 2 of the question would be if you're the Mets, would you kind of do the same way? And if you did, does that mean Pete Alonso is going somewhere else? So, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if they sign Soto, they're not going to sign Alonso. But I heard something interesting the other day where they said, don't discount San Francisco trying to make a push for Soto. Because they did go after Judge, right?
Yeah, but they went after a bunch of guys, and every one of those guys went to another team.
Yeah, I get it, but they overjudge more than you got paid with the Yankees, right? So,
Yeah, like 40 million more, which is significant. But that wasn't really the question. I don't care about San Francisco. We're on the East Coast here. So, if you're Hal Steinbrenner, are you doing everything you can to sign Soto and make sure he doesn't go to the crosstown, brothers in Queens? Are you signing him?
me personally,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Now, why?
Not other than the fact that he's probably the second, third, or fourth best player in baseball, and he's 25 years old.
All right, fair enough.
So I don't care if he costs me $60 million a year,
For how many years?
10 years.
So, okay, is that your ceiling? Let's say them. So, okay, we'll stop right there because this actually might work out well. Now you're the Mets GM. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would say that they're going to offer him something.
That's great. So he's basically there. The Mets are basically going to offer him like a bag of potatoes and some apples.
So I'm saying, I think a lot of teams would want him.
Right.
So I'm sure a few teams are going to make their pitch.
Well, what's your pitch? The Yankees GM over here to my right says 10 years, 600 million. Are you going past that? Are you giving him 12 years? Are you giving him 15 years?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're willing to do, to be honest.
Oh, I'm asking you what you're doing. Right now, you're the GM. What are you doing right now?
Somebody's going to offer it to him.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about the Mets and the Yankees, but somebody's going to offer it to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. But you did mention
Texas Rangers.
Nah, I don't think so.
You did mention Alonso, and
Right, this is a little more tricky for you. That's why I want you to pretend you're the GM right now.
Right.
What are you doing for your team to make it better? And if right now I'm Uncle Stevie Cohen's, I'm telling you, do what you got to do. But I want Soto or I don't want Soto. I leave it up to you. What are we doing here? You got the team you got right now. Besides, Alonso's a free agent as well, and I'm only concerned with Alonso, not any of these other guys if they're free agents or not.
right. So yeah, I was gonna say, with Alonso, if he's really unhappy, maybe they could move Vientos over there and see who's available, to improve the team somewhere else.
For first base.
Yeah.
Do you think Alonso's unhappy? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And really, if
Right.
signing one and getting rid of the other, what are you truly accomplishing? I mean, it's really only, to me, makes sense if you sign one and keep the other, because then you got the same.
All right, so now we're using our heads. This is what I want. So you got the 10 years, 600 million. Are you offering Soto a contract or not right now? I need a contract. You got to give me something, or else this game is not going to work for me. So give me a number. I don't care what it is. Give me your years. You're the GM. I'm Soto. Scott Boras is to my right. He's asking you, what are you offering me? Go. All I need is a number.
What was his offer?
10 years, 600 million.
12 for 650.
Wow, okay. So 12 years, 650 million.
Sure.
So that's probably like $55 million a year, right, roughly? So a little less on the years, on the yearly salary, but more money overall and 2 more years. So with you, he'll retire at 37, 38. He'll be a free agent. And with you, he'll be 35, 36 as a free agent. Okay, so now for me, right? So now this is what I was thinking, and I was the gears were turning, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Before I go though, would you come back with an offer if that was the Mets offer, or are you staying pat at 10 for 600?
I think, I mean, I know there's going to be crazy numbers out there, but I can't imagine that he's going to get. I would be surprised if he even got 10 years, 600 million. I'm thinking it's gonna be more in the 550 range.
Definitely not, but I think it's going to be 6 to 650 easy.
Really?
Yeah, only because he turned down, I think it was 14 years, 450 million, which at the time was a ton of money, but he was smart to turn it down because he was only 23. So it only take him to 37, and now he's going to make even more money. And I think he was going to be making like 40-ish million a year.
Listen, too, it all depends, like, what's the rest of the free agent market gonna look like?
Right.
Agreed, but
Who else is gonna be out there? Who's gonna be available? I mean, if you're gonna be able to go after a guy that's, you know, maybe top 20 in baseball, and it's gonna cost you half of the contract, you know, it makes it.
Alonso's available. He's a top 20. He's borderline top 10 maybe.
Yeah, but again, when it comes to the Mets, like I said, to me, it only makes sense if you can have both of them.
I agree. And if I were the Mets, that's what I would try and do too. But
Because
here's
it's like you're getting rid of one to get the other.
Right.
So you still just got the one good player.
and some would even say that Alonso is more of a producer than Soto. Look at his stats: more home runs, more RBIs. So like, if you're looking for
I mean, listen, he definitely, I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves.
no, what?
So how old is?
Oh, he's like Judge's
Alonso?
age. He's like in the 30 years old, 31-year-old range, somewhere around there.
He's that old? You sure?
Look it up.
It was more like 28, 29.
No, he's on Judge's same age. So, my thing is this, right? I like your offer. That's where I'd want to be, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere further than that. Because I think, personally, it's almost like a double-sided coin, right? You see what he's doing for the Yankees. He's almost like the perfect fit to be in front of Judge, right? Which is awesome. There's a funny couple different stats that I heard on one of the Yankee broadcasts where 25% of Aaron Judge's RBIs are Soto, which means he's getting on base so much that Judge is hitting home runs, which is scoring them in one way or another, whether it's a home run or a double, basically.
Yeah, what is he on base? 50% of the time?
45-ish or something like that, somewhere
think
around
it's
there.
more than that.
It might be, but that's I as a manager or a GM, I like that combo a lot. So would I pay a little extra for him? Yes. So like what I would do if I was in your position with the offer he just had, and I'm just assuming it's a 2-horse race right now, because I don't see the Dodgers spending any more money, but they could, especially with the whole deferment of Ohtani.
If
But
that happens, man,
well, then I would hope the Dodgers never win a World Series. That's all you got. That's all you can hope for.
and then shame on the rest of the league for letting that happen.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing that's why I'm pinning this as a 2-horse race, because the Mets have an owner that has the most money in baseball, and the Yankees are the most prestigious and always get their guy, which is why they brought him in our trade, so that they're the front runner, especially if he did good and he winds up working out, which up until now, knock on wood, he's been working out great. Judge's numbers are through the roof, and they still haven't even approached his 2022 numbers where he set the American League record for home runs. But last year, even though he was hurt a little bit, you could see Judge is hitting a lot of solo home runs, a lot of, a lot of empty doubles because no one's on base in front of him. That kind of stops now, and Judge is leading in every offensive category. So if you could keep Soto here for even 10 years, whatever amount of money, even if you say, I'll pay you $70 million a year, I'm just not giving you more than 10 years right now until, maybe the 8th or 9th year where we could restructure a deal or do something like that.
Yeah.
But I'll give you $70 million a year to make you the highest paid outfielder in all of baseball. I don't care. You know what I mean? I just don't want to go 10 years because the Yankees have had too many of those contracts, and even 10 years scares me, but he's 25. So that's the good part about it. You could realistically see him, even if he starts to fade at the end, he's 34. Him fading at the end, 34, 35, he's still probably put up 20 to 25 home runs at Yankee Stadium with somewhere in the realm of 80 RBIs because he's such a talented hitter.
Right.
And even that, his eyes shouldn't go.
You're still kind of, sort of, more at the tail end, but you're still in your prime at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you're just out of your prime at that time.
Listen, the whole thing too is this whole luxury tax nonsense and how much these guys are wanting to pay and be over the luxury tax.
Well,
That all has something to do with it too.
you got to assume if you're going to get Soto, you're going to go over that luxury tax because the Yankees still have all these holes all over the diamond. You're going to have to get other guys too. You know what I mean?
Cole's what? How many years does he have left on his contract? It's more than a couple, right?
I think it's either 2 or 3. Because didn't he sign an 8-year deal?
So
And I think we got him in 2020, maybe. Yeah, because didn't the Astros go to the World Series in
so
2019?
if they sign Soto, we can pretty much kiss Cole goodbye. But I mean, at the end of his contract, he's going to be.
And even if he's still pitching good, like, are you really going to give him a big
big
contract?
contract.
You'll probably give him a 2-year contract, $50 million, and call it a day. That's actually a discount. And even if he falls off a little, he's still a good number 3. You just need a new ace. But you're kind of hoping that our minor league system with these pitchers that have been coming, because I'll be honest with you, the Yankees farm system pitching wise has looked pretty decent. Like, you have Heel that came up, he's been looking really well. If he could build his arm for next year and pitch like this, he could be your ace of the future. And then I like that guy Poteet or whatever. He got hurt earlier. He did a spot start for
Yeah.
Cole and all that.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good too. And even Warren didn't look that bad in his last start as a spot start. Like, he was a little wishy-washy, but he's striking guys out. He was making some big outs.
What about San Diego? I mean, they're having a good season, but do they go and try to get him back again?
They're broke though. They're like legit broke. Like, they let him go because they couldn't pay his salary.
Yeah.
And something with that.
That's true. That's true.
That whole thing where they borrowed $100 million and they couldn't pay it back, so that's why they had to dump guys.
Right.
So I don't see them doing that last year to just this year and get Soto. Plus, Soto really didn't play that well for them either for a
Right.
while. So why? Like, he's a perfect fit in New York as of right
Oh,
now.
I
You know?
agree 100%. You know, it's not just the talent that he has, but what he brings in a personal aspect to the team.
Yeah. And it looks like he's having a lot of fun. Everyone likes him. Like,
Right.
he's just part of, you know.
Right.
And it's a good thing he doesn't have to be like a super leader because Judge takes that on like really well and quietly, almost like a Derek Jeter type.
Right. So that whole stigma of playing in New York and dealing with the pressures of New York, that kind of takes away from him.
Yeah.
He's got Judge there.
You know, and matter of fact, there's even more pressure on Judge now to win a World Series this year because these past bunch of years, not that he didn't have a good team, the Yankees always have a good team, right? You know? But he didn't have guys around him that could hit in the way that he could kind of hit too, with some protection. Like, you know, you got Soto now. They traded for Jazz Chisholm, which
That
was
seems to be working out.
it's working out really good, right, so far. And listen, he's not going to be that hitter that we saw when he was on the road over the last week, you know. But he's going to be good. You get rid of Gleyber Torres next year. You put Chisholm at second. You find a third baseman. You'll be all right. You're going to keep DJ LeMahieu, obviously, but he could be one of those off the bench kind of guys, late defense kind of guys. Couple, you know, a start here or two a week, whatever. But this is like his. Even Austin Wells, since a little before the All-Star break, he's been in over 300
Yeah.
and raking the ball.
And hitting in the cleanup spot.
Right, exactly. And now you got Stanton back once he gets his timing back. So this is probably the most, I guess the closest team, a complete team that he's had since he's been up here. And let's be frank, like, he hasn't hit well in the playoffs. I'm kind of hoping this year he breaks out of that. Almost like when A-Rod came to the Yankees and he was a bum in October until 2009. And then he literally transported the Yankees on his back to the World Series. And then they all did their thing in the World Series and we won. That's kind of what I want to see from Judge. Get us all the way to the World Series and then let the team, like, just flow and win that World Series. Like, just make it happen, you know? Because this is probably one of the better chances you're going to get. Because if you do land Soto next year, you're going to lose a lot of guys next year to keep Soto. So, like, my thing is, if we're going to lose him to another team, whether it be the Mets or the Padres or the Giants or the Rangers or the Mariners, whoever, right? Anyone that's contending, even the Guardians, like anyone that also wants to throw their hat in the ring with the big boys, that's okay too. It's almost kind of crazy too, like if the Mets were to get him and then not did with what you said, Ernie, and keep Alonso. Alonso's not having a great year or even a good year. It's very pedestrian, but he's still probably going to finish up with 35 home runs and around 90 RBIs, which is not bad for a first baseman. And
Plays every day.
Plays every day. And now, let me put it to you like this. You lose out on Soto, and the Mets don't sign Alonso. Do you deal with a first baseman who's an average first baseman fielding-wise, could get better, you know what I mean, and then add his pop behind Judge now to protect? Maybe you move Judge back to the 2-hole and move him in the 3-hole, and then now you're obviously not giving him anywhere close to Soto money, not even close. It might not even be close to Judge money because he's had such a bad year. Let's say you give him $250 million for 6 years.
He's not a free agent until after next year.
No, this year. This is his walk year. Trust me. Anyway,
Oh, I thought Alonso was.
no. My
next
point.
year.
My point being is, what if you sign Alonso somewhat on the cheap to Yankee Stadium, who our friend always says is a bandbox and a bomb shelter? He could just flick the ball to right field, just like Judge does sometimes. Might get his production up, might get his average up a little bit. Now you have a first baseman now. You get rid of Rizzo's contract. Maybe you're paying, I think you're paying Rizzo $17 to $18 million next year. You get rid of him. Maybe you pay Alonso 22, 24 million. So you're not adding much money. And then you could go out and fill in other needs. Because remember, we got the Martian that can play the outfield. You put Judge back in right, Martian in center. Then maybe you sign Verdugo for someone on the cheap for left field.
And then you could see that kind of scenario playing out, right? If they do sign Soto, just out of retaliation.
Just out of spite, they're going to sign Alonso. Yeah, that's why I was raising this question and like this talk.
And Alonso's, out of spite signing with the Yankees.
It's-
Taking less money.
Especially if they sign Soto before Alonso. Like if they make Soto their top priority and then land him, and then talks fizzle, the Yankees are definitely going for Alonso because now they're going to need a new power bat. Because right now, I think, I think Soto has 28 home runs. I might be mistaken, and I think Alonso has 23 or 4. So he's got more home runs than Alonso, which is unheard of because he's having an uncharacteristically bad power season right now. Because he's normally a 40 homer guy every year.
Yeah, I think I heard recently that he has had 3 seasons over 40, and the rest have all been in the 30s.
Okay, I mean, we could look it up, but that's still a lot of home run production.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I could see that scenario playing off, and the Yankees go cheaper because of the luxury tax since they missed out on Soto.
What do we do with Ben Rice?
He's originally a catcher,
Yeah.
and he could be. You could turn him into a utility, or you could, you know what I mean? Like, you have options with him because he just came up, so he's going to be around for 5 years. You know what I mean? And who knows? You give him like utility role where he's almost like a DJ LeMahieu. You could start playing third, second, first. You know, maybe even catch. Maybe you could be the backup catcher. You get rid of Trevino. You know what I mean? And you do it something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to that because a lot of these baseball players now, especially like the ones that are now starting to come up, they play like 5 or 6 positions, which is kind of wild. So make him do that over the summer. Like, he's still young. I mean, over the winter, still young enough. He knows how to catch. He knows how to play first base now. Make him play third base. I mean, you still need to fill spots.
Yeah.
You need to get stronger overall. So I wouldn't be opposed to that either. But yeah, that's that. TV shows. I know we talked about Wolverine and Deadpool. I keep watching it. It's driving me nuts. I watched it again last night. Yeah, I watched it again last night. because every time I see something on Instagram or TikTok, there's another Easter egg. I'm like, I didn't see that, so I go to the movie and now I'm searching for these Easter eggs. You know what I mean? And it's driving me nuts. Plus, I also like the ending. It's really awesome when he puts the cowl up and he just starts going berserker Wolverine on everybody. Like, especially to the Madonna song, it's kind of funny. You know?
So how many times have you watched it already?
Probably like 7 times.
Jeez.
And it's been out 2 weeks.
Christ.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is. I go to bed and there's nothing on, and like I'm not gonna start a show to fall asleep to, so I just put that on for like a good half hour, and then I watched half hour, 45 minutes. I fall asleep, and then I started back up, a night or two after that, But I like it. I love the movie. I can't wait till it comes out where I can buy it on 3D or something like that, so I can watch it on this TV. Because my friend saw it in 3D, and he said like, in the beginning, remember when he throws the sword at somebody? The sword comes out at you, which yeah, that was pretty cool. I always like 3D better.
I didn't even know they do 3D movies still.
That, to be fair, it's been a long time since I saw that there was a 3D movie, but I guess they're still doing it. It's not IMAX 3D. It was just like 3D real or whatever it's called, whatever.
But you still need to wear the glasses.
Yeah, 100% still need to wear the glasses.
I can't do it. That's just to drive me crazy. Ugh.
So.
Nauseous.
This is a 3D TV. I have the glasses right here. Like, can I one time show you it when you're sitting on a couch and not in a movie theater? If you still get nauseous? Because some people do that in the movie theater because I guess like just the overall thing, like the noise and everything like that. But I don't know if it's.
Why do you have the glasses out? You've been using it?
I'm about to use it tonight. Yes, I'm about to watch Avengers in 3D tonight. I'm rewatching the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Wow.
Yeah. Rewatching it.
So
I
this
finished
is the
it.
first time you took those glasses out of the box?
No, I have 4 below this table right here.
Yeah.
So,
I thought you had never used them.
no, I've used 2 of them. The other 2
Oh.
I never used before, period.
Oh.
So I don't know which ones those are, because they're all just stacked
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
But they're charged and fully ready to go. And yeah, I started right from the very beginning, but in timeline order, not like timeline order when they came out in the movie theaters. Not like timeline order
Story.
the story order. Not you know what I
So
mean?
you started with Iron Man.
Started with Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, and now I'm on Avengers, the first Avengers. So, but yeah, I'm doing that in my spare time, and I'm reliving all the magic before it gets terrible.
Did you look up and do any research about that Back to the Future teaser?
None whatsoever. I kind of assumed it was fake at first, but then I watched it again, and I mean, if we could just go on the IMDb right now, but I'm assuming it's real because how would you get? I mean, I guess you could AI it
With
or
AI and not
Right.
do anything. I
you
guess.
could Photoshop
I
it.
mean, if somebody created that on AI, that's pretty damn impressive.
I agree.
did find it interesting how Tom Holland looked.
Just like him, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
that's where I would say that, yeah, it's possible it's fake.
Right.
But,
Because when you sent it, I'm like, this, and it was like a little fuzzy on the sides. I'm like, this can't be real.
And I mean, I'd never heard of a new one coming out.
What was it called? Back to the Future? Was it 4? Just straight up?
Yes.
No, they don't have it on IMDb. I got 1, 2, and 3. The TV show, apparently there was one. Oh no, Back in the Time. Oh no, this is a 2015 short. It says Back to the Future Part 4, Back in Timeline. Expedition, a TV ministry. Yeah, I think it was fake. You punked us, bro. You punked us. I knew it was fake. Too good to be true. Plus, I don't know if Michael J. Fox can do a movie like that anymore. You know. What have you been watching? Anything?
I did watch one movie over the weekend. It's a new Planet of the Apes. It was on Hulu,
Oh, the one that was in the movie theater?
I guess. Yeah.
That was
so-
good.
Huh?
That was good. You like it?
Yeah, I liked it. I still kind of feel like the first 2 were better.
Right.
But I definitely enjoyed it. You know, it was like there's a new, I guess, ape you would say, this main, protagonist. Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely cool. I did like how it was like pretty much action from the start. It wasn't like too much screwing around. But
Right.
They got right to it.
Yeah, they did get right to it. I liked at the end when you saw the Eagles fight off that
Yeah.
the bad guy. I forget his name already. It was a good movie.
And other than that, I've just been watching. Still watching Time Bandits. And yeah, I don't think I've really been watching anything else. I mean, I was watching the Mets a little bit last week, but
That's good.
no other shows.
I just looked it up on ChatGPT. It's in fact a fake.
Yeah.
Yes, created by YouTuber KH Studios, who's known for creating
Fake.
concept trailers.
Yeah. Okay.
It says AI techniques and footage from other movies. The clips in the trailer are cleverly edited mashups from various sources such as Spider-Man, Far From Home, Ready Player One, and promotional material from the 2015 Lego Dimensions game.
Good for him. I had a feeling it was fake. That's why I asked you if it was real. I was like, that can't be real. It was too good to be true. I started watching The Boys last week.
Okay.
This season, like I know it's over.
Yeah.
So before I get into the show and my plus and minuses on it, you guys know that there's gonna be a season 5.
Yeah,
Never
there's
watched it.
there's one more season, right?
I don't know if there's one more season.
Right.
Apparently, they're basically doing what a lot of these really popular shows are doing now, and like doing multiple spin-offs. So they already have the Gen V. So
Right.
that season 2 comes out, I think, next year at some point.
And that was decent.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The same problem I have with that is what I have with The Boys, but we'll get into that in a second. So The Boys season 5 is already slated to come out in 2026. So that's 2 years from now,
Okay.
which is ridiculous, right? Gen V season 2 will be out next year.
Right.
Then they're gonna have a Gen of The Boys Mexico. Why are we doing Mexico? Like, is that a thing? Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead with like all these separate, like everyone spreads apart and has their own show.
Oh, it's like a different show?
Yeah, it's a whole totally different show. The Boys Mexico,
Huh.
right? Like, if that's the case, like just intertwine that with the regular Boys show. Like, you don't need to have The Boys United States and The Boys Mexico and then The Boys Brazil and The Boys Europe. Like,
Right.
what are we doing here? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is why shows get watered down and people get sick of it and then it doesn't run. Just add that to the season. Like, maybe the boys go to Mexico. Maybe the investigation or whatever they're doing goes to Mexico and that's it, right? Like, that could be season, 5.5 and then, or 4.5 before you get to season 5. Like, what are they doing with that, right? And then they're gonna have almost like a prequel of how Vought came up,
Yes, this I heard about.
right? Which that would be cool, but that should only be one season. That shouldn't be like 4 or 5 seasons leading up to the beginning of The Boys. Like, it should just be right before The Boys. Maybe you do like a 2-parter, 14-episode thing where 7 episodes or 8 are in the beginning of a year
Yeah, I
and then end of the year.
I guess Prime's trying to milk that cow.
Yeah, they're gonna milk it till it's dead.
Of course.
They're gonna bleed that dry. It's gonna be that milk is that cow's gonna be spitting out like dust, by the time they're done with it. But getting to the show, I'm more than halfway in. I think I'm in the beginning of episode 6.
Okay.
And can they just write this show without showing so many penises? Like, enough already with the penis. We get it. Whoever the writers are, the directors, they love penis. Like, it's cool. Like, but not like. You saw it, obviously, the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Firecrackers, like right hand
Oh,
guy, like that whole scene. That was totally unnecessary. And then he had pink eye. I'm like, what is happening with this show? You can only imagine what that was about, right, Ernie? Right? But the show, like, I'll give it this. I like the show for its action and it's just straight, like, goriness on, like, how, like, basically the Justice League could be, like, evil and almost take over the world. Because I'm getting that sense of feeling like by the end of this season, like, Homelander's cuckoo and, like, these supers are gonna just be taking pretty much over the United States, I don't know if that's gonna happen yet. Don't quote me on that. I haven't watched it to the end yet. Hopefully by the end of this week I'll know. You would kind of like that show just for the action and like some of the penis stuff is funny, I guess. But like, there's just a lot of it. Like I don't understand. Like they wrote it in on purpose to like upset people. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, I don't get it. Like I don't know where they went with it half the time. You know, it's always something. Like, did you see the web guy? That's like basically like their bootleg Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it comes out of his butt. Like what? Like why does Spider-Web have to come out of someone's butt? And the only thing I can think of is like these guys were sitting down writing this season, and they're just writing, and then all of a sudden someone's flicking the channel and is watching Spider-Man No Way From Home, and they see that scene at the end of the movie, like, oh my god, the spider webs come out of your body? It's like, does it come out of anywhere else in your body? Whatever. And they took that and they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Let's call this guy Web and shoot webs out of his butt. Like what? It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's overall a good show. Sort of. Now I'm kind of talking myself out of it a little bit. But it's entertaining. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
A lot less penis.
Yeah, like give me less penis. Give me less like, you know, of those kind of vibes for whatever reason, and just tell us a decent story.
And what about the females? Are there females in the show? Are they showing the same?
No, that's what I mean. Like, we're not even getting any female action. Like, it's all like penis stuff everywhere all the time. And it's the same thing with Gen V. Like, there's this guy that like.
So is the show trying to attract a certain?
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't tell you. All I know is it's a superhero show where the superheroes aren't that good. Like, they're good, but not that good. And it's like, and they teeter on the fence. Like, some of them are like good all the time. Some of them are bad. Like, the most important guy's Homelander, and he's like a born psychopath. But he's their version of Superman. And then you have another one that's their version of Wonder Woman. And then their version of Aquaman. And then their version of the Flash. And so on and so on and so on. You know? And a lot of it is staged, and like it's all like.
But Wonder Woman ain't showing that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't see any of that action, you know? But you could see, you know, penis flopping around in the background, you know, using it as a boomerang. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is going on? You know? There's literally one episode, was it last season, Wanda? Where they're in the hospital or something like that, and the guy is basically Mr. Fantastic with his dong. And it's like,
Oh.
remember that? And he like,
I think that was last.
the guy's trying to get away, and he shoots his penis through a glass door, or like, you know, like the hospital doors where it's like a little window.
Yeah.
He shoots it through there and strangles him with his penis
And this show is aired where?
on Prime.
That's surprising.
Like, you have to watch it just to see how crazy it gets sometimes.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. But it's so unnecessary. But I think the reason why they do it is because all these characters are just fakes of Marvel and DC characters.
Right.
So they can't do the same things, but you could, but they're doing a crazy spin on it. Because because DC and
totally
Marvel,
ridiculous spoof of it.
yeah, DC and Marvel have always been like that. Like, DC came out with Doctor Fate. So what did Marvel do? Doctor Strange. They have basically the same kind of stuff. They're magical, but two different names. So that's all you got to do here. You don't have to have Mr. Fantastic stretch his penis. You could have had him stretch his arms, and you could have called him Slinky Man or something like that. Like, I don't know, like, just off the top of my head, whatever. But, you know, that's really what I'm focusing on right now is The Boys. That's all I really got. Ernie, you been watching anything?
No.
Awesome. So you make fun of me for watching Wolverine and Deadpool every night, but you have nothing to contribute to this segment of the show.
No, I haven't been watching that yet.
Okay, great. Just the back of your eyelids, hopefully.
Yeah. Little Olympics here and there.
Oh, speaking of Olympics, can anyone tell me when 3-on-3 basketball became an Olympic sport?
What a waste.
It is?
Yes! I saw it the other day. I was in a dentist. I'm like, is this the NBA team? But then I saw it was half court, and there's only 3 of them. And I look on the bottom, it's 3-on-3 basketball. I'm like, what the F is this?
Interesting.
Like, you don't have enough basketball with the 5-on-5, like the regular basketball? You have 3-on-3? And we lost anyway.
Yeah.
We got like the bronze or something like that.
No, I don't even
No?
think they made it out of the first round.
No, you know better than me. I don't know. I thought I heard they just got kicked out and they got the bronze. I don't know. Whatever.
I could be wrong, but I thought they were.
I hope you're not, because that game should be abolished from the Olympic Games.
You know, I guess it's just another. You know, we need to attract as many different groups of people. I mean, breakdancing is.
Yeah. Oh God. I can't wait to invent a sport and then sell it to the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like get it really popular in the United States and then sell it to around the world and then make it an Olympic sport.
Yeah, I mean, how long before
Pickleball?
is,
Yeah, I know. That was my thought as well. My pickleball will be on there in like the next 4 years.
I mean, all honestly, I'd much rather see pickleball than
Breakdancing?
basketball.
Yeah, that too. Both of those. It's crazy. Unbelievable. All right, Wander, hit us with your songs.
All right. Got,
We'll wrap this up.
3 albums,
Wrap it in a
as
bow.
usual. First up, we have JPEG Mafia with "I Laid My Life Down for You." I'm sorry, I laid down my life for you. Next up, Navy Blue with "Memoirs in Armor," and third, Michael and the Midnight Revival with "Songs for Sinners and Saints."
Awesome. So that'll about do it. We're gonna try and get these guys out of here before the big storm comes. So we'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your week of all rain.
Enjoy the rain.
Yep. Later, folks.
Later.
Take care.